I request all of you to please mute your audio. Welcome everybody to the webinar. This is conducted by careerguide.com. We have today Ms. Neelam Chauhan with us. She's a project coordinator at CII Institute of Hospitality. She has been a hospitality professional with about 10 years of hospitality experience and knowledge of customer satisfaction, food and beverage operations, and hospitality management. With this experience, she's currently managing a pan-India project with CII as a skilled project coordinator focused on maximizing team efficiency and productivity with proactive cross-functional communication and organized approach while demonstrating performance record of accomplishing projects on time and managing marketing efforts for the company. Welcome, Neelam, and thank you for collaborating with Career Guide. And today we are going to talk about how you or somebody who has done hotel management course can work with top hotels like ITC and Taj in India. So all the participants, I request you to please be muted when we're having this webinar. And if you have any questions for Neelam, please feel free to drop a direct message to me, and we'll have a 15 minutes or 20 minutes, however it takes, a long question answer session at the end of the session. So at the end of the session, you can also unmute yourselves and ask your questions directly. So over to you, Neelam.
So, hi everyone, good evening. I am so sorry to pull you out on a Sunday evening, on a lazy Sunday evening, and that introduction was so technical. I'm sure you lost track of it in between. So I'd just like to give you a little brief of myself. I started my journey with the Oberoi Hotels and Resorts. So I've done, they have this program, an on-the-job graduation program for 3 years. So I started my journey with that and started with hotels, of course, with the Oberoi Hotels, and then moved into airlines. Major part of my career has been in airlines. And of course, after airlines, I've joined CII Institute of Hospitality, and we brought this program to India from Switzerland, which I will give you a little brief of later on, and how it's so different from the regular hotel management colleges or courses that are available in India at this point. So to start off with, I have a little presentation. Also, I just want to mention that this is my first time giving a webinar, so please bear with me if I have some technical difficulties. So I'll just try to share my screen with you, and I have a little presentation, and we can do the question answers round at the end. I think there are still some people joining. Just give me a minute. So I hope my screen is visible to everybody. If I can get a confirmation on that.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Just the screen, right? Okay. So just like to start off today's webinar with just asking you all, why are we all here today? So I believe that most of us here are counselors or probably students. I'm not sure, but either way, we are looking for a career path for students who have just come out of 12th or just applied for just given their 12th exams and they're waiting for their results, and of course they want some options to be lined up for their career path in general. Of course, there might be some students who are genuinely passionate about and interested in the hospitality industry and want to work probably in an industry where there are promising job prospects and it's an ever-growing industry. So either way, the most important question is that what is it that is, gotten you interested in this webinar? Or probably what is it that you're looking for your students and how can you guide them better when it comes to hospitality in general? So, there are various options, of course. It could be a promising career that you're looking at for your students, or is it quality education? There are a lot of hotel management institutes out there which are offering, different types of courses from a diploma to a degree or an MBA degree. But the question is that if you, what I feel is if you're not really aware about how the hospitality industry works, you can probably misguide a student into going into a program that will not actually give them, good results in the end. Of course, what is a good result would be mostly to secure a good career in the industry and, of course, get a job at the end of the day so that their money doesn't go to waste. So I would like to start the webinar today. We'll give you, of course, more information on the program later on. However, I want to just give you a brief on, the unemployment situation in India. Of course, there are various reasons. I just want to be specific about when it comes to the hospitality industry. Now, I'm sure everybody, all of us wonder, why are there such high unemployment rates in India? What I think is it boils down to one question. First of all, what are our education institutes, like schools or colleges, like? I'm sure the education system in India has been designed wonderfully, and there are a lot of pros to it also. One of the cons is probably what I feel is that they fail to guide the students, towards a proper path in terms of they believe in one size fits all policy for the students. So you can either probably become a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer, depending on the merit. Only the students who are very good at studies are recognized or even probably get jobs later on. The other ones probably would have, skills and talents for something else. So each one of us, I believe, have an aptitude or, certain skills and interests and talents that, you were always born with. Now, the thing with interests and talents is we most of the time treat them like hobbies. So if you're somebody who's interested in dancing or sports or cooking, most of the time you'll put it on your resume as, your hobbies. However, there are some people who are actually really good at it also, but it's a very unconventional career path to choose when it comes to our society in general. Parents will never agree to it. At least I'm telling you from at least my time when I was in college or school. So, ideally, while choosing your career or vocation, what needs to be taken into account is that what is it that where does your talent and your interests lie? The thing with skills is, of course, you will have to develop them later. But the thing with skills is that you have to figure out what your interests are, and then you can develop your skills in that area. That is why you go for higher studies, and that is why you probably go do internships and on the job trainings in general industry. However, we don't take that path. We keep our skills and talents and interests on the side, and we go for very conventional career options like become a doctor, engineer, lawyer. So even this happened with me, of course. My father wanted me to desperately be an engineer. So his whole life he had prepared me to be an engineer, and I did not want to do that. For that matter, I took science when I was in 12th. That was probably the biggest mistake of my life. I would, if I could go back and change that, I would do it. But I was never interested in that. And luckily, of course, I got to a program which has been a major turning point in my life, because it was I was not the kind of a student who was interested in going to a college and, learning, I don't know, mostly what they teach in college, since I never went to a college, I can't tell you. My college was very different, very unorthodox. It was an on-the-job learning program. I was posted in a hotel, and for 3 years, I did training in all different departments of the hotel and learned in general hotel management. And with that, of course, it's not just that I got to learn the trade of the skills. I also got, a major personality transformation while being in that environment, because I was constantly working and learning with people who were, way older than me, who could teach me things. In 3 years is a very long time to develop, your communication skills, your time management skills, your managerial skills in general, which of course was very helpful to me. Like after that, I wanted to change my stream. And if I would have gone to a regular college for 3 years, I would not have that option because I have no, work experience anywhere. I have absolutely no idea what to pick. Even when you're in a college regular, you don't really know. After you graduate from that college, you have to pick a stream, of your interest, and then you start working there. And most of the time, the theory that you're being taught in the college is so outdated that when you go into the industry, you realize that whatever I've learned is not actually relevant anymore. So you have to unlearn all of that and then start learning the new processes that are being, implemented in the industry. So that is something that I was, I didn't have to do. Luckily, I got I was 3 years ahead of other peers when it came to getting a job later on after graduation. So I understood because of that, the importance of skilling when it comes to getting a job later on, which we in India in general, in our education system, we don't focus on. We focus on mostly, aptitude-based, like merit-based career paths. It could be, like I mentioned, like doctor, engineer, lawyers, and others. I'm sure you guys probably have a better idea of that than me. But the thing is that there is nothing wrong with being in any of those professions, but the individuals who do have the aptitude for, those kind of job professions actually thrive, and they actually do very well, make a great career out of it. However, students who just probably, went to a college to learn medical or engineering or anything else in general because of either peer pressure or because of their parents, they did not have the right, first of all, they were not in the right, it was not aligned with their aptitude and interest. And they mostly end up then unemployable or frustrated. They would have rather gone for something that they were interested in, probably would have been a different case. So now we're going to talk about the importance of skills in today's world. Of course, the education system in India is still to make any substantial change in this direction in, making skills more important than theory. But of course, there are some colleges and schools who are actually trying to change that orthodox mentality and trying to, include more practical learning and focus on the child's skills, abilities, and what they can do after that. And major part of it, I think your counselors also look at that. You look at the skills and the capabilities of the students. And then, of course, there are career options for everybody available out there. It's just you're smart about it and you do your research and you actually figure out what kind of industry do you want to go in, which aligns with your, skills. So I'm sure you all also have heard about stories so many times that there are a lot of college degree graduates, so many of them graduating every year and still, landing without a job or probably applying for jobs which they are really overqualified for. It is obviously also because of the, the lack of sufficient jobs and poor schooling. But other than that, there is, a very mediocre quality of education that is being provided in the colleges, which is, like I mentioned, very outdated. So students do go to colleges thinking that, probably, of course, everybody's end goal at the end of the day is to get a job and secure a career in the industry. But they do not research where they're going and what kind of education they're getting, or is it even, relevant anymore. So especially in the hotel industry, the problem is that the colleges that currently, or even for that matter, for the last few years, their curriculum is so outdated that they're teaching about, motels or inns in 1800s, how hotels started, which is technically not relevant anymore. I've been in the hospitality industry for the last 10 years, and I swear to God, nobody has ever asked me when was the first hotel made, or those kind of questions. What you actually need to learn is these are the kind of things that you will learn in a book, of course, because they can't show, they don't have so many facilities, or it's not even their problem. It's just how the system is. Unfortunately, you don't get to practice a lot. So now, the real question is that when you are guiding your students, or if the students are taking a decision on their educational career, are you taking the right decision? Are you researching where you're sending your students? Will they get appropriate amount of training? What exactly is even appropriate amount of training? It depends from industry to industry, to be honest. If you're going to become an engineer also, there are different divisions in engineering as well. And, if there is something technical, they are trained for 3 years doing that technical thing. That's how they can, go and pick up a job later on, because they know how to operate on those machines or how it works. But in the hospitality industry, people are very misguided and they don't really know how will they end up getting the job later on. Of course, a lot of colleges do offer placements, but there are so many conditions attached to it that, first of all, we never ask. And later on, when the student is up for, a placement or anything, there are a lot of different scams that are running, and a lot of different things are happening just because people are not aware about this industry. So I would, after this, give you a little presentation on our product, and maybe generally explain you what all, can you look at as a career option in the hospitality industry. Of course, hospitality industry is a very huge segment, tourism and hospitality, and a lot of things come under it, which I will show it to you in a bit. So, like I mentioned, we are known as the CII Institute of Hospitality. Just to give you an overview of, the hospitality industry in India, there is, it comprises of a very huge segment when it comes to the Indian market. Travel and hospitality for years and years. A lot of people from all across the world, of course, about Taj Mahal, that is why Delhi, Agra, the Golden Triangle, even, a lot of tourism we get a lot of, money in our country, economy, because of the travel and tourism market. So I've heard, of course, you all have heard that in the last two sectors, tourism industry obviously took a very major hit because there was no travel happening. There was, hotels were shut down, entries were shut down for international tourists. However, I think people are still in that mentality that, hotel industry is still in that area of, just not growing anymore. And so people are not joining the hospitality industry in general, which is not the case, to be honest, because this is the only industry which has bounced back faster than any other industry, because, as soon as a little relaxation on the COVID rules started happening, people, got new ideas when it comes to, how to utilize hotels in India, basically. They have started having lavish weddings in hotels because you can't really go out anywhere else. So wedding business, incentive business, conferences, major banqueting events started happening in hotels, and also because you can't go out anywhere for staycations, there's something also called as revenge travel, which is basically, of course, you locked me in a house for 2 years, and now I need to get out. So people have started exploring internally, like domestic tourism has grown so much, and hotels, most of the hotels that I know at least, are at max occupancy all the time because people are going out on retreats. Earlier we were kind of ignoring destinations in India only because, of course, everything was open and we wanted to go out and try, international destinations. However, people in the last 2 years, people have explored India only so much that our own domestic tourism have increased, a lot. So it is not at all the case that this industry is not growing anymore. It is, absolutely great. Okay. So just to give you an overview of what all career options can you look at after you do a hospitality course, any kind of tourism or hotel management course. So there are a lot of options available in the public and the private sector. Like you can say that obviously you can go for hotels and restaurants, as standalone restaurants also that have a lot of job opportunities. You can go for cruise ships. You're somebody who loves to travel, cruise ships, airlines. All of these options are open for you, and you can go out, after doing a hospitality course, go out, travel the world, learn about different cultures. There are also government hotel and tourism associations that you can work for if that is something that you want. And of course, a lot of other things that I've mentioned here. I'll just give you some examples on, what all career options can you look at. So, you can become a restaurant manager for a standalone restaurant or a hotel restaurant, of course. There's something called like airline catering, the food that you get on airlines. They come from catering institutes, and you can do internships there also if you want to become a chef, or even a food and beverage manager can look at something like this. There are a lot of five-star luxury airlines in the Middle East who hire in-flight chefs also. So they are looking for a talent that can, onboard, showcase their products. You can get into the tourism industry. You could become a tour guide, also a sous chef for a standalone restaurant or a hotel, of course. The restaurant industry, of course, is growing, a lot in the last few years. Every uh, every other day you would hear that there are new restaurants opening, and very interesting ones, of course. I will also tell you a story of a chef that I recently met and how interesting his journey has been. Being a BCom graduate and never actually knowing that he would want to go and work in the hospitality industry. But just because of a little bit of training in a hotel by just, a chef wanted to give him an opportunity to learn in a hotel. And now he's working for a really good upscale restaurant and, has his own business also on the side. So yeah, that is very recent. You could also have your own travel agency, work for a travel agency like Thomas Cook, Sita, and all of these travel agencies. You could also get into event management. Now, event management could also be, weddings, parties, any kind of events that you are interested in. If you're interested in something like that, you could also join cruise ships and airlines, like I mentioned. There's something called as luxury concierge services. They're very high-scale companies who cater to. I'm sure you must have heard about American Express. They have luxury concierge also to meet anything from a charter plane to, an elephant ride across, I don't know, Kerala or something. You could look into that. So, of course, food critic. These are some unconventional, career options that people have. Okay. Look at food blogging as well, wedding planners, but also who have a little bakery of your own if you're interested in that, of course, which leads to being an entrepreneur. So of course, to open up something of your own, you will have to develop those skills and then eventually get to a place where you can open up a restaurant of your own or a cafe or however you would like to go about it. So just to start off with giving you a background on what our program is about. So CII is Confederation of Indian Industry. So CII is a 126-year-old company. We are a non-profit, non-government organization, and we have been working with the government for the last 100+ years, to formulate policies, to upskill the youth, and to generate employment in the industries. So all the industry heads are board members for CII. So the main agenda of this program that we've introduced is that there was a lot of shortage of skilled manpower in the industry, in the hospitality industry in general. So there were students who were getting, out of college and getting so high because what they were absolutely learning nothing in the colleges, and they were joining the industry, which they had no idea about. So there was a disconnect in between, and the hotels also could not really retain the staff because they were not skilled properly. So, of course, when we talk about five-star luxury hotels, the biggest chains are either IHCL, which is Indian Hotels Company Limited, which is the parent company for Taj Hotels, Vivanta, this whole chain. And then if you talk about EIH, which is East India Hotels, which is the parent company for Oberoi Hotels and Trident Hotels, ITC Hotels for that matter, all of these companies are at least 100+ years old. And, for all of these years, they used to have, of course, they've managed to stay in power for all of these years because of some special things that they are doing. They're training their staff in a certain way, and their expectations are in a certain way. The problem is that the institutes and the colleges nowadays are not being able to, produce skilled manpower for these kind of hotels. But if you talk about a 3-star or 4-star property, that kind of sufficient amount of training, yes, they do provide. When in a college, if you go to a regular hotel management college, they would have dummy labs set up in the college itself, where there will be one room that you can, for housekeeping, you can go and do your practicals in that one room. So if It's a batch of say 20 people. 20 people, all 20 will not be able to do it. One person will do it, and they will show it to the other 19 people. And what happens is at the end of the day, they do graduate. They have a degree, they have a experience certificate, everything. But when it comes to placements, they don't get a job because they have absolutely no idea about what to expect in a live, hotel working environment. So the industries are actually approached us, approached the CII, and wanted to figure out a way how to get skilled manpower in this industry. So they reached out to EHL, which is École Hôtelière de Lausanne, which is in Switzerland. So EHL is also a 127-year-old hospitality management university, and it has been ranked number one since. Of course, it was the first ever hospitality industry to be university to be established in the world, and has been ranked number one since years. In the last 4 consecutive years, they have been ranked number one when it comes to hospitality management. So EHL, of course, has been the pioneer in hospitality education, and there is nothing better than École Hôtelière de Lausanne when you talk about hospitality education. Of course, a lot of people in India don't know about EHL, since it's based in Switzerland, and their method of teaching is also completely different from what we do here. We, of course, had to get some idea from other countries, and European countries usually majorly believe in skilling their students rather than just doing theory, and most of it is practical, and that is how they go out there and get jobs. So we approached EHL. So they've got this program here, which is running successfully in other countries as well. This VET by EHL program, it's called Vocational Education and Training. So I will give you a brief on that later also. So this is basically, they got an 18 months on the job learning program in India. So now the only thing left was a training partner, because we are not an institute. We don't have, a building with labs and everything where we send our students to learn. Instead, we've collaborated with ITC Hotels. We also have a partnership with Taj Hotels, which I will get to later on. So, everybody knows about ITC Hotels, one of the leading luxury hotel chains in India, with about more than 100 hotels in our country. So now what happens is that our student goes to one of these hotel properties in any of the cities. I'll brief you on that later also. And for 18 months, from day one itself, the students' learning will happen in the hotel itself. They will learn from faculty who are, industry experts, which are, the duty managers and the learning and development managers of the ITC hotel chain. So all ITC hotels majorly have their learning and development departments in all hotels, and they have been training students for a very long time now. So it's a very strong learning and development department. So that is, those people will be responsible for our students' learning also, and the course curriculum is by EHL, and the training happens in ITC hotels. It's a little complicated, but by the time I finish, I'm sure you'll get some idea about it. Okay. So like I mentioned, this VET by EHL program has been running successfully all across the world. So these are our locations, in Bhutan, Greece, Mali, China, UAE. Also, yes, in Mali, they've recently started this program. So what they do is they usually partner with a local body like CII, which helps in skilling and employing youth in the country. So everywhere else also they do the same kind of setup. It's either a partnership with an institute or a hotel chain. So it's going very good. For in our country, our VET by EHL locations for ITC are Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Goa. So I will show you the hotels also later on. So like I mentioned, the awards and ranking for EHL for the last 4 years, they have been ranked number one according to the QS World University rating when it comes to hospitality education. So you know that your students are in best hands. The course curriculum is absolutely advanced, and it is up to date, according to the current hospitality standards. So now one unique point of our program is that we are not doing a complete hotel management program for the students. Now, the students have to, before joining, have to take a decision on what exactly they're interested in. And accordingly, they have to pick a stream. So we have three specializations. So first one is, of course, culinary professional program. If you are somebody who want to become a chef, who want to learn, different cuisines from all around the world, and want to learn from expert chefs. Of course, ITC first of all is known for their food all across the country. So you know that when you're learning from the best in the industry, the executive chefs and the sous chefs in the hotels are going to be at least 10 to 15 years with 10 to 15 years of experience, and that is where you will go to learn. So another program that we have is Rooms Professional Program, which is if you're an extrovert and love talking to people, interacting with people, front office is the department for you. So this Rooms program is comprises of front office and housekeeping both. So in general, rooms management is the main focus here. From check-in, check-out counters to reservations, how to handle phone calls, how to make a room. Every guest details basically from check-in to check-out are managed by the rooms department. So if you're somebody who's an extrovert and wants to learn more, loves interacting with people, your student can go for the rooms program. Now, the third program that we have is Food and Beverage Service Professional Program. So now this is like a middle ground between both the departments when it comes to rooms and kitchens. This is somebody who's really interested in, passionate about food and beverages from all around the world, and love, managing things like events, banquets, all of these things will come under food and beverage. So service styles from all across the world. This is all about style, flair. You get an extensive knowledge on food and beverage from all around the world. You're going to the students, later on after they complete the program, they can expect, an extensive knowledge on food and beverage from all around the world. So if you have a student who's interested in something like that, and also guest interaction is also very high in this department as well, like front office. In kitchen, the guest interaction is a little bit less. So when it comes to communication skills, that I will get to later. What we want from our students, what kind of students do we want? The communication skills, of course, is a very major part, because from first day itself, the student is going to 5-star luxury hotel. So there has to be some level of presentability and communication skills that we are expecting. And of course, the rest of it we will teach the students as well. So just take you through some, unique selling points of our program. Of course, like I mentioned, the Swiss professional. So we have, just to give you a brief, 2 segments to it. So in hospitality industry in general, what happens is that it does not really matter where you do your degree from, because mostly degrees are theoretical. What matters is where, like, how much skills have you developed, how good are you with your communication skills. Of course, a student right out of 12th wouldn't know about all of these things. And if you pick a wrong college or an institute where also you're not learning anything when it comes to a skill-based industry, it is very difficult to get jobs later on. So it doesn't really matter where you get your degree from. When it comes to also degrees, we understand that in our society, especially for parents, degree is a very important concept. And in general also, I'm nobody to, down, how do I say that, degrees are not important. It's very important. However, it's been 10 years. I've never used my degree anywhere, to be honest, because I've been in this industry for 10 years. Other industries, I'm sure, work very differently. So mostly this program is focused on the diploma program that is from EHL. However, we understand that in our country, it doesn't work like that. Our parents need a degree program. So we have a Swiss professional degree program and a diploma program as well. So somebody who's already a graduate probably from somewhere and doesn't need a degree can go for only the diploma program. However, students who have just come out of 12th, of course, will need a degree. So the degree program works in a way where we will enroll you for the diploma program and the degree both simultaneously. Your degree is going to be from IGNOU, which will be on a self-study mode. The degree is for 3 years. and the diploma is for 18 months. Now, what happens is the student will be enrolled in the diploma and the degree program simultaneously. It will go parallel. So within 18 months, the student will complete the diploma program and their on-the-job training, where of course they're also getting 1.5 years experience certificate from ITC or Taj Hotel. And after that, we have 100% job assurance guarantee from CII, because that is what we do, upskilling and employment generation. So we are offering 100% job placement. Mostly will be within the same hotel chain itself, because they are investing time and money in training the student according to how their industry standards. So they want to absorb the students as soon as possible, and then they complete the diploma programs. To get a job in hospitality industry, you don't really need to be a graduate. So the degree is going to run parallelly anyway, while you start working also. Within the 3 years, while you complete your degree, you would also have completed the diploma program already, and also would have 3 years experience in the industry while working, and you're earning also. I'll give you a detailed information also on that later on to make you understand a little bit better. So now this program is divided into 3 stages. It's foundation, intermediate, and advanced. It is divided in 6 month segments each. After every 6 months, you have your theory and practical exams. And only after you complete your exam, you will be moved to the next level. And after successfully, obviously, completing these 3 stages, you will be awarded the Swiss Professional Diploma from EHL. The course curriculum is very advanced, and also English is a major part of it. So, and practicals and even smaller quizzes and tests keep happening within these 6 months, also in a particular stage that you're in. So, yeah, it is actually very interesting curriculum when I've seen it. So now how the program is going to be delivered is that we have a global learning management system for the students. So they will be, and it's updated by EHL directly from Switzerland. So the same kind of course curriculum that they're learning in Switzerland, where if you would want to go for a graduate degree, it is approximately 2.5 to 3 crores for 3 years. However, you're getting a similar course curriculum here in India, and also getting to learn from industry professionals while working in a live environment. So this is a perfect cocktail if of course, just to kick off your career. If you, when it comes to hospitality industry, if your student has started their career only with a 5-star luxury hotel chain, which is very difficult to get in. If you ask me later on, even the colleges that provide placement, they don't tell you what kind of hotel chain are you going to go into later on. Of course, you have to be a star performer, probably a Taj or an ITC will pick you. But here, of course, we're giving you a complete job assurance that the hotel is going to train you and then absorb you later on. Of course, after only the successful completion of the program. That's the only catch. So, like I mentioned, this is a program by the hospitality industry. They wanted something like this, and that is why we've got this to India. And they're also offering a final placement after the completion of the program. So another plus point is that the students also get to become a part of the international alumni network, which is, they can connect with their peers from all around the world, which is a very good thing in hospitality industry. So if you want like to move out of India or get in connection with somebody looking for jobs or tips or anything like that, that's a very good connection to have. So this is a specialized program with obviously more focus on practical learning in a live environment, and the student's job will start right after 8. Now, just to give you a basic comparison on, why this course is different from other hotel management courses. Like I mentioned, first of all, the other hotel management courses are for 3 years, and you get a degree after, of course, 3 years. The catch to it is that nobody, the parents and the students, none of them actually know that even if you go to an IHM, which is, of course, the government-recognized hotel management institute, they also provide a degree from IGNOU. Hotel management colleges usually are institutes. They are not universities or colleges that they can give out degrees. So they have to affiliate themselves with some other, either IGNOU or a state university to provide degrees. So at the end of the day, when you graduate, you get a degree from a distance learning program itself and a certificate from the institute that you have graduated in. Now, absolutely, like I've interacted with a lot of parents and students, absolutely nobody knows about this, and nobody even tells them. Unless you go into the fee structure and the breakup of the program fees, that is when you get to know that your tuition fees or probably this fees is going towards IGNOU or some other institute. So here, and also the training mostly happens in like an institute building. Like I mentioned, there are dummy labs. Generally, it's mostly theory focused, and so there's something called an industrial training that the students go and attend in those 3 years. Max to max, it will happen for 4 to 6 months. And industrial training is not really, there's nobody to pay attention to you when you go to that hotel also. So you just go to a hotel and do very basic chores like chopping, cutting, and filling up forms or something like that. You don't get any kind of exposure when it comes to the hotel. And after you complete your degree, you realize when you get a job in a hotel and you realize I have absolutely no idea what happens here. And the hotel people expect you to already know all this information because you've spent so much money and 3 years of your life in learning that from an institute, but you actually didn't learn anything. On the other hand, here we're trying that, after a student gets a job, they're already job ready. And 1.5 years is a good enough time for a student to, get an idea about how the industry works and what to expect basically after they actually start working after 1.5 years. So for 18 months, it is a completely experiential learning experience that you're offering the students. They will be from, so how the program is divided is 5 days of the week. So students will go to the hotel and do their training and learning there. 1 day will be a theory day, which they can do from home, which will be online. So a lot of ITC staff members have been trained by EHL to, provide them with this course and the training. So they take their classes, online classes, and 1 day will be off. So most of it is hands-on experience and a real hotel industry experience, which nobody else actually in India can provide. So like I was telling you that I did this on-the-job training with Oberoi Hotels and Resorts. In hotel chains itself, like Oberoi Hotels, ITC also has a program of their own, which is called Welcome Lead. So they are very selective people that they select in a year, which is very difficult to get through also. With very good programs, no doubt. If your students can get through that, that will be great as well. But other than that, these are just these programs have been introduced by the industry so that they can get staff for themselves later on. And other than that, any other college cannot provide you this kind of, experiential learning when it comes to hotels, at least. So because of this, of course, nobody else provides it. There are a lot of questions that parents and students most of the time have, and it gets a little complicated. That's why I want, to take you through this presentation in in details. And I'm sure you also have a lot of questions later on, which we will get to. Please ask as many questions as you have. So now it's not just about the upskilling of the students in those 18 months. A student also, learns a lot of other things, working and learning with the, people of different age groups and different, levels in hierarchy also. Their communication skills improve because on an everyday basis, you are interacting with people from all around the world. There are guests from all around the world that you will talk to. Time management skills, decision-making skills, in general, personality development, you can expect after you complete a course like this. So like I was mentioning, when the students start the program, they will start their training at ITC from day one itself. After 18 months, they will get their Swiss professional diploma, and right after that, they will start working for a 5-star hotel chain. 3 years in, they will complete their degree. And so how this works is after 18 months only, the students will start working, and another 1.5 years, their degree will complete. And in that time, the student is earning, they're working as an employee. So whatever amount that they put in the education, the whole course fee, would have been recovered by then, because there is obviously, even an entry level job, you get good amount of salaries in metropolitan cities, good five-star luxury hotels. So this is how the program structure works. I would just like to show you a little video. Let me know if it works.
Neelam, is there an audio? Because audio is not audible. Video we can see.
Oh, I don't know what to do about the audio, but it's just music in the background.
Okay, okay.
We can fix that. So, like I mentioned, these are our locations with ITC in India. We have ITC Maratha in Mumbai, ITC Sonar and Royal Bengal in Kolkata, two of our hotels, and ITC More in Delhi, ITC Grand Chola in Chennai, and ITC Grand Goa. So these are our properties as of now that students can go to and pick from these properties also wherever they would like to go and do their training. Like the same program, we have our partnership with IHCL Hotels also. Like I mentioned, it's the parent company for Taj Hotels. And the only catch is that this program is slightly different, since the students will go to an institute for 6 months first for their learning, and then for 1 year to one of the Taj hotels. As of now, we are operating out of 2 locations only, which is Chandigarh. So all of North for Chandigarh, and the students will go to Delhi, Taj Hotel, for their training. And our institute, we are opening our own institute, CI Institute of Hospitality in Chandigarh itself. And the other one is in Pune, which is in partnership with AISSMS College. And 6 months of the training will happen in AISSMS. And then for 1 year, the students will go to Mumbai and do their training there. Rest, everything remains the same. Only the program structures are a little different for the 2 hotels. So like I was saying, 6 months training will be with the Learning Partner Institute, then 12 months on the job training at Desiree at Taj Hotel. Then after 18 months, they will get their diploma and start working for a 5-star hotel chain, preferably Taj only. Now, of course, after 3 years, they will complete their degree, which is optional if they would like to do that. These 2 locations are just to start off with. Otherwise, we signed up with all of these locations and all these hotel properties for Taj. You can see them here also. So these are all the clusters that we've signed up when it comes to Taj hotels, which will roll out eventually, of course. Done this. Okay, so finally I am done with the presentation. I think I would like to stop sharing now. Thank you so much for listening to me, everybody. I know it was a long session, but I just wanted to clear everybody's doubt if there were any. And I think we can go for question answers, Pooja, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Neelam, for this session. It was really enlightening. And now I realized if you don't have, like, if you don't have a degree, but if you do have a passion and you know, you're interested in learning and doing something new, there's always so much scope to do. So,
Of course.
if anybody has any questions, please feel free to answer. There are a few in messages that people have already asked. If you-
Okay. Can I read it out?
yes, please. You want me to read it out?
Sure. You go ahead.
So Aman is here. He's currently in his senior year of college and preparing for a software job. But I eventually want to become a chef or a food writer. So basically something around food. How can I do this?
So okay, let me be very clear about this. A lot of people are very passionate about cooking, and they're actually after the pandemic coming out and realizing that it's not just a woman's job to be in the kitchen. If I like cooking, then I can, being a guy also can go out.
He's currently in his senior year of college and preparing for. Sorry, please mute yourselves. Yeah, sorry about that.
So what happens is, cooking food and becoming a chef is technically art, I would like to say. And to be an artist, you have to practice a lot, of course. And if you pandemic coming out and no, Pratik, we'll get to the fee structure. Just give me a minute. So what I was saying was that you will, to become a chef, at least you will definitely have to get some on-the-job training somewhere. Either you can learn from somebody if you know a chef, or take up a professional course. But I would suggest take up a professional course, especially when it comes to become a chef. Take up a course where you are actually cooking on an everyday basis and learning, not just going to doing a diploma course where they're just teaching you theoretically about these kind of things. You can know everything about, what kind of vegetable is what, but till the time you don't know how to cut it properly, what temperature to boil it at or to cook it at, you would never be able to learn, the art of becoming a chef. So I would suggest that if you're actually genuinely interested in that, then you take up a course. I'm not sure other courses out there, how long are they, to be honest, but if you're interested, maybe joining our course eventually after you complete your graduation. It's an 18-month course. You can get as much training as you want. And of course, you want to become a food writer, we need to know about food. To begin with, as of now, what you can do is you can start going out and learning about food on your own and trying out food in different places. And that is how also you can develop your skills to become a food writer eventually. You don't necessarily have to be a chef as well. The fee structure, I will also share my screen for that in a bit. It's a little complicated. I'll get back to that. So, okay, two of our participants have asked me about a 10th course. The problem is that for at least our program, you need to be a 12th pass student. That is a minimum eligibility criteria with 50% marks in English. So with 10th pass, as of now, I don't really think you can probably go for a diploma program somewhere else. But I would suggest that you complete your 12th probably from an open university. That is also fine, and take up a course. 10th pass would be a little difficult to, even for that matter, to get a job later on. If you're going to get a job, I understand the degrees are not so important, but high school education is definitely important. So I would suggest that you complete, your higher secondary education. I will get back to the fee structure. Anything else that we have? I'm sorry, we don't have any courses for engineering, Nitesh, unfortunately. So average salary of a chef. So what happens is, no matter what course you do, you will have to, everybody, like everybody else, you have to start from scratch, from a entry level position. And of course, the salaries could be depending on what city you're living in. It depends from city to city and hotel property to hotel property. But anywhere approximately from 20 to 35,000, depending on location and hotel chain property, you can look at. Okay, what I'll do is I will just quickly share the fee structure of the program also. Missed out on that, I think. Mhm. I'm sorry, just give me 1 minute. So, okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so now when it comes to the fee structure for the diploma program is INR 3,30,000 plus GST, which comes up to 18% GST is 3,89,400. So this is the diploma program fees, like it's mentioned here for the diploma program, 3,89,000 inclusive of GST. Now for the degree program, like I mentioned, that we tied up with IGNOU. IGNOU charges are 12,000 rupees for the 3 years degree. We don't charge anything on top of that. So the students directly pay to the IGNOU. There is an installment plan or something that IGNOU, or every year you have to pay like 4,000 rupees per year basis. So it's better that the students directly pay for it. So that is only 12,000 rupees for the degree. And if you add it up for the degree program, it becomes 4,01,400 rupees for the diploma and degree program complete. Now, how we do admissions is that for to get through the program, firstly, the students will have to go through an aptitude test and a panel interview. So, after only clearing these two things, where a little bit of communication skills, presentability, and all these things will be checked. So after they get through that, they can book their seat because, with every location, we are only taking 50 students, the best 50 students in that location. So for ITC Maurya, we're only going to take 50. So it's a live working hotel. We cannot add even a single person more than that because it will, it's a live working hotel, so they can't accommodate more than that, more students in that. So to book their seats, or like a booking amount, it is 20,000 rupees that the students can pay just to book their seat, and later on, which is a part of your admission fees only, by the way. It is not a separate charge or anything. Only thing is that it is not refundable. If you would like to back out later on, then we will not be able to refund the 20,000 rupees for you. However, it is a part of the 3,89,400 rupees that you pay here. Either the students, we prefer that the students can pay, a one-time payment right before joining the course, 15 days before joining the course. However, if that is not possible, we have an installment plan. You can pay it in 2 different installments, half of which the students can pay before joining the course and half can be paid after 9 months in the course. The only catch with the installment plan is that there is an additional charge of 10,000 rupees on each installment. So basically 20,000 rupees extra for the installment plan. Also, if the parents and students, they require loan facilities of any kind, we also have tie-up with NBFCs, and we can help the students get loans also for this program. So, any questions on this? sure I will email the details. Anybody who needs details for, the program can please drop in their email IDs here and I will definitely get it sent to you.
So there's another question. So, the working hours are really hectic, is what, everybody says. So there's a question: what's a typical work week for a chef, and working days and working hours?
So I wouldn't say that it's an easy working environment, but what is, let's be honest. But in nowadays, at least in hotels, when it comes to workload, it's improved a lot. So in ITC hotels, let's say there are shifts for only 9 hours. You cannot do more than 9 hours. It's completely recorded and monitored. You punch in, punch out. They can't make you, overstay. Earlier, it used to happen, definitely. I will tell you, when I started working in hotels, people used to work for 12, 13 hours a day, and it was very normal. Now, that is not the case. In all major scale hotels, it's a controlled shift of 9 hours. And if you do end up, extending your hours because of some reason, because sometimes there are odd times because of a function or anything, you will get an off to compensate that for. So it is all controlled. It's not like they will overwork you and like that. I think 9 hours is definitely in an office working environment also normal. Yes, you do have to most of the time be on your feet. It's mostly physical labor, but to be honest, I really enjoyed it. There are different types of people. There are some kind of people who like to sit behind a desk and probably work on a computer, which they prefer. There are other kind of people who would rather not do that and probably be on their feet and be out there and do physical work. So depending on what you prefer, you can of course go for it. So if you want to become a chef, of course you can't sit on a chair and cook there. So that comes with the job. So, and also there is, depending on hotel chains, like I mentioned, weekly off, either 1 to 2 weekly off, or some hotel chains have like 8 weekly off in a month. And also the major misconception is that, you don't get holidays or anything in hotels. That is not the case. It's a healthy working environment. It's not like that. You do, probably won't get holidays on, say, you don't have Sundays because hotels are very busy on Sundays. Holidays like Diwali or some festivals. It's not like everybody doesn't get off, but hotels are very busy at those times. Of course, we are the ones who go to hotels, to eat at those on those days. So, but to compensate for that, you will definitely get another off some other time. So sometimes, yes, you won't get off days according to your own preference, but it's not like you're in a jail or anything and you won't get holidays at all. That is not going to happen. So it's pretty controlled. So you don't have to worry about it. Somebody has written a BTech in electrical engineering. If they have a scope to work in a 5-star hotel. I think, yes, definitely. We also have engineering departments in hotels. And which is also another actually area which nobody talks about. Of course, there are major scale 5-star luxury hotels. They do need engineers as well, for, I don't know, a lot of other things. But I'm sure you can look at that. If you go to any, hotel website, you can look at the career options. They do have a specific engineering department as well. And there are good career growth options also in that. Of course, you get other benefits along with it as well, like other employees, like health benefits, holidays. Sometimes some hotels do offer their employees, to be able to stay in a certain amount of room nights in one of their properties anywhere. So all those benefits are, of course, there. You will also get that. How long have you been operating in India? Okay. So Baram, I think you're talking about our program. So we have recently launched our batch in Delhi last December. That was our first pilot batch. And now this year we have enrollments for all of our centers. So 25th of July, we're going to start a second batch in ITC Maurya. So in India, they are new, but like I mentioned, in other locations all around the world, they have successfully been running the program. You can probably check out our website or the Instagram page. for sure there's a lot of more information about this program over there. And of course, EHL, the program that we have, all of these three companies, in fact, CII, EHL, and ITC Hotels, they're all working, been operational for about 100 plus years, 120 plus years for that matter, all three of them. So I will email the details to everybody here. That is great. Okay. All right. Any other questions? If anybody has, please do let me know.
Any more questions? If anybody has, please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask. Also, I would also like to mention that participants who are interested in taking a tour of the hotel and see how training is imparted with ITC and Taj, or you want to ask your students to go take a tour, you can always get in touch with us, Career Guide, and we'll coordinate the whole thing.
Yes. So I understand this is a very unconventional kind of a program setup for a lot of parents to understand. So just to help out with that, we offer, online counseling, like how I took you through the product. We counsel the students as well. Also, if they are interested in coming to the hotel property and having a look at the property itself, we can arrange that also. Only that it is appointment basis only, so it would be better if you make an appointment earlier with Career Guide, and they can get in touch with us and arrange that for you.
Yeah. So any kind of collaboration, please feel free to get in touch after the webinar.
And just wanted to reiterate that we are starting the batch on 25th of July. So just keeping that timeline in mind. Of course, after that also, we're planning to launch another batch, since this is not like a regular college setup, so we don't need to wait for students to get out of 12th or then start this program. We will also launch another batch in somewhere in October or November for all these hotels itself. So later on also, if you're interested in, we have some students who are interested in doing a course like this, you're most welcome.
Neelam, there are two more questions in the messages. Yeah.
So how many batches of students have completed your course? Like I mentioned that we've launched our first batch last year, December. So they're still in the process in ITC Maurya. They're still undergoing their training. So they haven't completed it yet, but yes, we already have a batch that was launched last year. And we also have a lot of admission for this year as well. Of course, the students, it depends on the students if they complete clear the aptitude test and the interview round with our staff. So I'm working in a small restaurant as a commie chef. How can I get a job there? You can, okay, this for the so you're talking about, Mohit, to get a job in one of the 5-star luxury hotels. So see, I would suggest I need a little bit more information, like how much experience you have and where have you done your training from. So if you could probably write to me about that, that would be great. Okay. So I was just checking, Purva, if there are any queries after the webinar, you will be taking them, right?
Yes.
So maybe Mohit, you can probably write to Purva and let her know what kind of work experience you have, where you work. So maybe I can help you out with that. Okay.
Sure. So I am gonna drop my email address here. So anybody who has a doubt or wants to ask any further questions, you can email us. And again, if you want to collaborate, and participants can contact us to book a tour of hotel to see how training will be conducted, or any other collaborations, you can totally contact us. I'm dropping my email ID here. So feel free to get in touch with us anytime. So is there any other questions that anybody would like to ask? Mohit has replied, yeah. He's done his diploma from Singapore.
Mohit, why don't you drop your email ID here and I will get in touch with you. Okay? Email ID or phone number either way. Email ID is better actually. Okay, then I'll wait for your email ID, Mohit, and rest if there are no questions, then Purva, you can decide when to finish the seminar.
Sure. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in for this informative session with Career Guide and with Neelam Chauhan. And Neelam, thank you so much for giving this time and imparting so much education today.
Thank you so much. I hope I was even a little bit help. That will be great. Thank you.
I am sure you were. So we'll keep doing such sessions in future, and I hope to see you all in the next session. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. This has been recorded, so I'll share the recording link soon, and also it's available on YouTube on the Career Guide channel, so you can also have a look there. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.